crystalline adagio.
So, Odette is officially here, and she is a 5-star cryo sub DPS specially designed for stellar conduct and stellar swirl reactions. And in this video, I'm going to test her to the limits, finding the baseline for comparison from C0 to C2, and we're going out for real damage testing. But before you pull for her early constellations or invest in her, you need to know one thing: is Odette worth your investment? This clip has an answer for you. Hello, it's Joe and welcome back. Nowadays, Genshin characters are bloated with these long-ass explanation of their kit. I am going to simplify it for you. Let's find out what she can do in Razor language. Her E or her elemental skill is her bread and butter. Make sure you tap her E twice in a row, or elemental skill, then ultimate, and then elemental skill again, EQE. Her ult is only to buff her own damage output, so not always needed but good to have it. Well then, Razor language would say apply electro, then swap to Odette, then E swap. If her ult is ready, then EQE swap. Simple, beautiful, and deadly. Let's not waste any more time. My Odette talents will be at 199 for the rest of the video. And she is equipping with her signature weapon at R1, and she is also equipping with the Heart of the Furnace artifacts, and the stats are somewhat mediocre due to resin bottleneck and terrible luck I had on these rolls. In the last video, I compared C0, C1, and C2 Sandrone's vertical investment comparison. Please go check that video out if you'd like. That means my Sandrone in this video will be at C2. However, with the comparison I'm going to do will strictly be stable and easy to understand, despite not having the same level of investments as I am. To find out, I spent hours testing with bunches of teams and variation. Let's begin at C0 to find our baseline, act as an anchor for this testing lineup. Team 1, C2 Sandrone, C2 Yaemiko, C0 Odette, and C6 Chi-Chi. Let's head to Miliasta Wonderland for dummy target testing. The first team test, recently we got buffed for Yaemiko's kit, and now she is stable to Stellar Conduct support and sub DPS team. So, adding C0 Odette makes Stellar Conduct and Stellar Swirl as a duo staple, pretty much locked and paired together. As you can see, at C0 Odette, with the right rotation, she hits almost 1 million damage, sometimes even surpassing 1 million damage, and this is just C0. Now, Odette is a sub DPS and a support, right? That means Sandrone's DPS will be hitting a lot stronger. If you missed my previous breakdown of Sandrone's vertical investment video, please check that out too. If you don't have Nicole but have Chi-Chi, Ayosha, or even Diona, this team can break everything in the game already. The second team swapped out Chi-Chi and put Nicole in. This is quite controversial and a bit of a slow start because Nicole is a Hexray team. Putting her in a non-Hexray team requires at least 3 seconds of on-field DPS to get her attack buffs, meaning Sandrone is doing low damage for the first 3 seconds, but afterwards, this team gained a massive amount of damage output. I played with many rotations and whatnot. I found the best buffing for the team. Using Nicole's elemental skill before swapping to Odette's is crucial. Let me explain. Nicole is a Hexray, right? She needs another Hexray unit to transfer her attack buffing capabilities faster. However, without the second Hexray unit, after swapping Nicole out to another character, Nicole will need 3 seconds to transfer her attack buffing to that character. In this rotation, that means Odette will need 3 seconds to get that buff, meaning while using Odette, her full rotation is E, then Q, then E. These 3 skills are somewhat at 3 seconds precisely, meaning she got the buff from Nicole, then swapped to Sandrone for DPS shenanigans. Now, with the next team, it gets even better. If you apparently have Shilonen lying around, we can make good use of her in this team too. The third team did a top tier result as well. So, at the end of rotation, Sandrone's personal damage is at 4.8 million damage, and the team DPS is at 7.5 million damage. And the strongest hit was 1 million damage. The DPS is around 220k, which is impressive by the way. For the fourth team, putting Kazuha in and replacing Shilonen might be a good idea in the paper because Odette's new kit is also buffs Stellar Swirl. However, Kazuha was once the goat of Genshin Impact, but not the case anymore. I had high hopes that he would do solid damage, and the footage you're seeing right now of Kazuha is at C6 R5. Even with that much investment on him, I wasn't happy with the result after the full rotation ended. I know, some of you will just rant back and say, not everyone is a meta slave. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I'm testing the numbers for you guys. So Odette's personal damage is around a million damage, and Sandrone is at 4.4 million damage, and the team DPS is around 200k, maybe a little less. By far, this is the worst among all the teams tested. But don't worry, still great though. After testing the consistency, rotation flow, and raw damage ceiling of all 4 variants, we have an undisputed winner here. The absolute best team as of right now is Team 2, Sandrone, Yae, Odette, and Nicole. The combination of Yae and Odette makes an undisputed duo queen for the Stellar Conduct team. Alongside Nicole's attack buffs, creates the perfect storm for Sandrone's hyper carry scaling, completely leaving the newly buffed Chi-Chi or the alternative setups in the dust. So, for the rest of the constellations breakdown, this is the premium squad we are using to push Sandrone's to her absolute limits. So then, let's put a pin on that team's damage. Our variable stays exactly the same. Now let's activate Odette's constellation to C1. What does C1 do? In short, her Super E deals 300% of Odette's attack in Stellar Conduct, and 450% attack in Stellar Swirl, and her Marvelous Splendor gains 2 stacks right away and faster buffing teammates after switching. What is a Marvelous Splendor? Good that you asked. This little swan icon is a buffing capabilities from Odette. When swapping her out, she loses these stacks and transfers to all party members, meaning that Odette at C1 will receive higher personal attacks and transfer buffing twice as fast as before, resulting more damage from teammates. Let's put that to the test. As I said before, all variables stays exactly the same. Now, with C1 activated, Odette's personal damage has increased significantly from 1.77 million to 2.49 million. To be precise, that is increased by a staggering 40% damage output. That is insane. And overall DPS has increased by 26%. Solid upgrade if you ask me. If by any chance you got the C1 in your pool, congratulations. Also drop comments below and tell me how your wish went. Mine's horrible. Now the team's overall DPS went and touched 10 million damage for the first time. Crazy. This is a top team right now, even surpassing Zbai Premium. But before we move on, you might ask, where is Alyosha? Well, he's here, alright, at C6. He's only really capable to match these teams only at C6. Here is his footage at C6.
Come on, keep up. A spot that's big time entertainment. How tiresome.
Oh, Genshin Impact. We have come very far for a 4-star support. This wouldn't be possible to achieve 5 years ago. Now it is time to activate Odette's C2 constellation. What does it do? Remember the swan icon I told you a little earlier? Yep, that thing increased attacks by 7% of each stacks. Odette's little swan icon is at 6 stacks max, resulting in a staggering 42 damage increase in every party member for 22 seconds. On top of that, Odette's provide 20% resistant shred for Stellar Conduct and Stellar Swirl. Mind-blowing. Now let's put that to the test and compare. I've run and tested various rotations and found the best 2. The first one is pressing E from Nicole just right before Odette's full skill, resulting in higher damage output for Odette's personal damage, while Sandrone is doing slightly lower, just slightly, but the whole team's damage output is still crazy high. The second rotation was pressing E from Nicole before swapping to Sandrone for a full DPS buff. This results in lower damage for Odette's Super E, but Sandrone is having the time of her life. Full blast, crazy number. Which rotation do you like? E before Odette's or E before Sandrone? Let me know down below. Now, the clip you're seeing here are full comparison from C0 to C1 to C2 Odette. C2 Sandrone is hitting so hard at 400k per charge attack, and her ult deal a massive 1.5 million damage. Usually this team runs about 30 seconds per rotation. Because of Nicole's buffing and also Odette's little swan transfer attack only lasted for about 22 seconds. Now let's see the numbers in real time. For most players, C0 Odette is more than enough. If you're just starting Genshin Impact at this patch, this banner is a no-brainer. Put everything you got to pull for her. Odette will be meta for quite a while. However, if you don't like meta, do whatever you want to do with your Primo Gems. Now, for vertical investments players, C2 is a good stopping point, like I did. With C2 supports on your roster, they will comfortably clear Stygian Onslaught on dire difficulty with no issue whatsoever. If you have money to spare, I still strongly believe that investing in supports is far more valuable than the DPS. Let's look at Yae Miko as an example. She was released years ago, and suddenly today, out of the blue, she's top meta and became one of the core stable for Stellar Conduct sub DPS all of a sudden. For F2P folks out there, just get her. And may your pool be blessed. Remember, trying to support the game you love by buying primos, just like me. If you have come this far, consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments below which team are you running and did you get her? This video takes a lot of time and effort to make. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more optimized build guides like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.